100% Manchester City will win the Premier League? When Pep Guardiola's destruction machine starts accelerating towards the finish line. In the unforgiving crucible of the Premier League, there is a terrifying inevitability that haunts every contender, the Manchester City surge. As spring arrives, Pep Guardiola's machine transitions from excellence to pure perfection, leaving rivals gasping in their wake. This analysis deconstructs the tactical mastery and psychological steel behind their end-of-season dominance, revealing why the title race may already be a foregone conclusion despite what the table suggests. The March to May phenomenon, decoding the Man City late-season surge. When the clocks turn and the shadows lengthen across the Premier League turf in March, a familiar, almost chilling rhythm begins to take hold. This is the Pep Guardiola curve, a masterclass in tactical periodization where the Catalan genius ensures his side peaks exactly when the oxygen gets thin for everyone else. While rivals are running on fumes, City move with a terrifying fluidity, the result of a meticulously managed physical and tactical crescendo designed to hit maximum velocity in the final trimester. It is not merely about fitness, it is about the synchronicity of movement. By this stage of the season, the patterns of play are so ingrained that the players operate on a level of collective intuition that looks less like a football match and more like a high-speed chess game played at an unrelenting pace. This physical peak triggers a profound psychological shift in the title race, moving the narrative from mere dominance to a sense of absolute inevitability. For the chasing pack, the pressure is no longer just about their own results, it is the suffocating realization that the blue machine ahead of them simply does not possess a lose button. We are seeing that same cold, calculated execution right now that mirrored the historic run-ins of 2019 and 2022. In those campaigns, City turned the final months into a procession of perfection, and the current momentum suggests we are witnessing a carbon copy. They have mastered the art of the grind, where even on days when the flair is dampened, the sheer structural integrity of the team ensures the 3 points are secured. It is this marriage of tactical evolution and mental fortitude that turns the spring months into a graveyard for the ambitions of their rivals. As City transform the Premier League trophy into their own personal property long before the final whistle of the season. The machine of perfection. Why City rarely blink under pressure. As we enter the business end of the season, the psychological landscape of the Premier League shifts, while their rivals often ride a roller coaster of emotional highs and crushing lows. Manchester City operate with the cold, calculated precision of a metronome. This is the hallmark of the Guardiola era, strategic consistency in the face of absolute volatility. While opponents may deliver flashes of brilliance, they frequently succumb to the exhaustion of the chase. City, however, pursue a brand of flawless football that does not rely on adrenaline, but on an unwavering adherence to a system that minimizes risk while maximizing control. They have mastered the psychological art of making the extraordinary look routine, effectively draining the hope out of their challengers. The genius of this City side lies in their understanding that a title is not won through constant destruction, but through the art of the efficient result. In this grueling marathon, winning 1-0 with 65% possession is often more valuable than a 5-0 thrashing that leaves the tank empty. They don't always need to blow teams away, they simply need to sustain a level of performance that is mathematically superior over 90 minutes. This efficiency is their greatest weapon, allowing them to collect 3 points while keeping their physical and mental reserves intact for the next battle. It is a suffocating form of perfection that forces the opposition to play a perfect game just to stand a chance of a draw. Furthermore, their tactical versatility provides an answer to every question posed by the league. Depending on the tactical climate, City can transition seamlessly from a suffocating high press that pins an opponent in their own third to a pragmatic defensive shell that absorbs pressure before clinical counterattacks. This adaptability ensures they are never truly out of a contest. When the legs get heavy in April and May, Pep Guardiola's ability to rotate his world-class squad without a drop in quality becomes the ultimate tiebreaker. While other teams are patching up tired starters, City are introducing fresh, elite talent that executes the same blueprint with terrifying discipline. They don't just win the tactical battle, they win the war of attrition, proving time and again that while form is temporary, the machine of perfection is permanent. Depth and rotation. The bench as a tactical weapon. Look at the dugout, look at the options, and you begin to understand why Manchester City feels like an inevitability rather than just a football team. while the grueling demands of the Champions League act as a sedative for most elite squads, draining their energy and clouding their decision-making. Pep Guardiola has cultivated a system where fatigue is mitigated by pure, unadulterated quality. It is not merely about having extra bodies, it is about the seamless transition of excellence. When a world-class playmaker makes way for a fresh substitute, there is no drop in the technical floor of the team. This equivalent substitution model is the silent killer of title races. It allows the pillars of the squad to find necessary pockets of rest without the team losing its tactical identity or its stranglehold on the match. The genius lies in how the system outlasts individual absences. We have seen season-defining injuries that would cripple any other club. Yet City's machinery continues to hum. When a key cog is removed, the structural integrity remains because every player is a master of multiple roles. This versatility ensures that even during a crisis, they aren't just surviving, they are evolving. They adapt their pressing triggers and possession patterns to suit whoever is on the pitch, turning what should be a weakness into a new tactical puzzle for the opposition. Ultimately, City's bench isn't a place for players who aren't good enough to start, it is a tactical armory. A reservoir of fresh energy that ensures the blue machine never stops grinding until the silver is secured. While rivals are forced to run their stars into the ground, Guardiola simply reaches for another world-class tool, effectively ending the contest before the final whistle even blows. The cracks in the chasing pack, pressure and performance variance. The beauty of the Premier League is often found in its unpredictability. But as we enter the business end of the season, a familiar and ruthless pattern begins to emerge. While Manchester City operates with the cold, mechanical precision of a side that has been here a dozen times before, their rivals are beginning to show the telltale signs of psychological wear and tear. This is where the title race is truly won or lost, in the silent corridors of the mind. We are seeing a recurring theme of mental fragility during this crunch period. It is one thing to perform when the sun is shining in August, but it is quite another to maintain that level when every pass carries the weight of a trophy. Rivals who looked invincible months ago are now dropping points against bottom-half sides, teams they should, on paper, sweep aside. Why does this happen? Because the pressure of chasing City creates a claustrophobic environment where a single mistake feels like a catastrophe. When you play against a Pep Guardiola side, you aren't just playing against 11 men, you are playing against a ghost that never stops chasing you. This leads us to the grim mathematics of the impossible. To overhaul this City machine, challengers find themselves in a desperate position where winning their own games is no longer enough. They are forced to rely on a City slip-up, a momentary lapse in concentration that history tells us almost never comes between March and May. This psychological burden is exhausting. It turns every weekend into a cup final, and eventually, that intensity leads to performance variance, a polite way of saying the wheels are coming off. The physical toll of chasing perfection cannot be overstated. To stay within touching distance of City, rivals must exert maximum energy every single week, leaving them depleted for the high-stakes European nights. Meanwhile, City's squad depth allows them to rotate without losing an ounce of quality. While others are running on fumes, City is shifting into fifth gear. The gap we see on the league table is merely a symptom. The real cause is a fundamental difference in the ability to withstand the suffocating heat of the title run-in. As the chasing pack begins to stumble, the reality is becoming clear. Staying perfect isn't just a goal for City. It's their standard. For everyone else, it's a breaking point. An existential crisis for the Premier League, the parity gap. The haunting reality of the current Premier League landscape is that we are no longer witnessing a traditional title race. We are observing a masterclass in clinical isolation. While the table might mathematically suggest a contest, the eye test tells a far more sobering story. This is the separate race syndrome, where Manchester City operates in a vacuum of perfection, leaving the chasing pack to fight for the illusion of proximity. When Pep Guardiola's side enters this final stretch, they don't just win games, they drain the hope out of the competition. It is a psychological stranglehold where rivals aren't just playing against a team, but against a relentless blue machine that refuses to blink. The long-term implications of this sustained dominance strike at the very heart of the league's identity. The Premier League has long branded itself as the most unpredictable theater in world football. Yet City's annual spring surge threatens to turn the climax into a foregone conclusion. This isn't just about winning trophies, it is about the erosion of the any given Sunday philosophy. If one club can maintain a standard so high that a single draw by a rival feels like a terminal blow, the competitive balance begins to tilt dangerously toward a monopoly of excellence. To bridge this widening chasm, the chasing pack must undergo an evolution that transcends tactical tweaks. Chasing City requires more than just heavy investment, it demands a total cultural overhaul. Rivals must match City's depth and their uncanny ability to rotate without losing a beat. But more importantly, they must cultivate the mental fortitude to endure a 20-game sprint where the margin for error is zero. The blueprint has been set to challenge the crown. You can no longer simply be great, you have to be flawless. Unless the rest of the league can elevate their baseline to this stratospheric level, we risk entering an era where the trophy is decided not by the drama of the final day, but by the sheer, terrifying inevitability of the City machine in March. The sky turns blue as the shadows grow long, and once again, Pep Guardiola's winning machine has reached its terrifying peak. While rivals flicker under the pressure of the run-in, Manchester City has mastered the art of the inevitable. We are witnessing a standard of perfection that leaves no room for error. The race may technically remain open, but the psychological hammer has already fallen.